Your daughter isn't coming to the ski trip. It's for kids who worked, my brother wrote. He swore his kids covered their own gear. My girl stocked shelves at a small store for $10 an hour. I texted, you're right. I booked a $14,500 private instructor package for just us. When they saw us skipping every line while they waited at the lift. My name is Oliver. I'm 37 years old, a licensed pharmacist, and if there's one thing I've learned about family, it's this. Being dependable doesn't make you valued. It makes you convenient. I grew up as the quiet brother, the one who studied while Lucas played football, the one who worked part-time jobs through college while Lucas got his tuition covered because, as Mom always said, he needed to focus on athletics. The one who loaned money that was never really borrowed, just expected. Avery is my daughter. She's 16, and she works 15 hours a week stocking shelves at a small grocery store called Martin's Market. She makes $10 an hour. She started working 6 months ago because she wanted to save for a laptop, not because I couldn't buy her one, because she wanted to earn it herself. That's the kind of person she is. Lucas has twin boys, Sebastian and Aiden. They're 17, and according to every family dinner for the past 3 years, they're the golden children. Star students. Natural athletes. Kids who work hard for everything they have. My parents repeat this narrative so often I could recite it in my sleep. The truth is different. Last February, Lucas called me from his car. I could hear the heater running in the background. He told me he was between contracts, that the twins wanted to join the Mountain Ridge Ski Club, but the monthly dues were killing him. $180 a month. He said it would only be temporary, maybe 3 or 4 months until his next project started. I said yes. I always said yes. That was 12 months ago. I've been paying $180 every month since. That's $2,160 total. Lucas never mentioned it again. No updates on his financial recovery. No thank you after the first payment. Just silence, as if the arrangement had dissolved into the background of family obligations I was expected to handle without acknowledgement. 2 weeks ago, the ski club announced a spring break trip to Summit Valley Resort. 7 days. Lift tickets, lodging, group lessons. The kids were thrilled. Avery asked if she could go. I told her I'd look into it. Yesterday, I got a message from Lucas. It came through at 9:47 p.m. while I was reviewing prescription refills at the kitchen table. The notification lit up my phone. I opened it. Your daughter isn't coming to the ski trip. It's for kids who worked. My boys covered their own gear. Avery can sit this one out. I read it 3 times. Each word felt heavier than the last. Avery stocks shelves for $10 an hour. She comes home tired, smelling faintly of cardboard and floor cleaner. She saves her paychecks in an envelope in her desk drawer. She worked for what she has. Lucas's twins covered their own gear. That's what he wrote. Their own gear. I stared at the message. My thumb hovered over the reply box. I could have written a lot of things. I could have listed every payment I'd made. I could have reminded Lucas that his son's memberships existed because of my bank account, not their effort. Instead, I typed 2 words. You're right. I sent it. Then I opened my laptop. Summit Valley Resort had a premium program. Private instructors. VIP lift access. Ski in, ski out lodging. Reserved seating at the mountain restaurant. No lines. No waiting. The kind of package that separates casual skiers from people who treat the mountain like their personal playground. It cost $14,500 for 7 days. Lessons, equipment, lodging, meals, everything included. For 2 people. I booked it. Avery and me. Same dates as the ski club trip. Same resort. I didn't tell Lucas. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell Avery yet. I just smiled at my phone, closed the laptop, and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up calm. Calmer than I'd felt in years. Sunday dinners at my parents' house were a tradition. Roast chicken, mashed potatoes, the same floral tablecloth my mother had used for 30 years. Lucas and his family always arrived first. I came later, after Avery finished her shift at Martin's. When we walked in, the twins were already talking about the ski trip. Sebastian was showing my dad photos of ski jackets on his phone. Aiden was describing the black diamond runs they planned to conquer. Lucas looked up when I entered. He smiled. Not guilty. Not apologetic. Just casual. Hey, Oliver. Avery. Avery waved. She didn't know about the message yet. She didn't know she'd been excluded. My mother brought out the chicken. Lucas's wife, Paisley, poured water into glasses. The conversation drifted back to skiing. The boys have been working so hard, Paisley said. They saved up for all their gear themselves. We're so proud. I cut into my chicken. The knife made a clean sound against the plate. That's impressive, I said. Lucas nodded. Yeah, they've been hustling. Sebastian does lawn work. Aiden tutors kids in math. They earned every dollar. I took a bite, chewed slowly, swallowed. Avery looked at me. Dad, did you ask about the ski trip? The table went quiet. Lucas cleared his throat. Actually, Avery, this trip is kind of exclusive. It's for club members who've been active all year. You know, kids who've been committed. I can commit, Avery said. I work every week. I can pay for part of it. Paisley glanced at Lucas. He leaned back in his chair. It's not about the money, he said. It's about effort. The boys worked for this. They earned their spots. I set my fork down. What kind of work did they do? I asked. Lucas blinked. Excuse me. You said they worked. I'm curious what kind of work. Lawn care, you mentioned? Tutoring. Sebastian shifted in his seat. Yeah, I mow lawns for neighbors. How much do you charge? I asked. He hesitated. Like, $20 a lawn. How many lawns? I don't know. A few. I nodded. And the tutoring? Aiden stared at his plate. Just, you know, helping kids with homework sometimes. For pay. I pressed. Yeah. How much? He didn't answer. Lucas's voice rose. Why are you interrogating my kids, Oliver? I met his eyes. Because you said they earned everything. I want to understand what that means. My mother put her hand on the table. Oliver, this isn't necessary. I think it is, I said. Avery works 15 hours a week at a grocery store. She makes $10 an hour. She saves her money. She's committed. But she's not invited because she didn't work hard enough. Lucas's face reddened. This isn't about Avery. It's about the club. The rules. What rules? I asked. The ones where kids who don't work get to go, but kids who do get excluded? Paisley stood. This is inappropriate. Avery's voice was small. Dad, it's okay. I don't need to go. I looked at her. Her hands were folded in her lap. She was trying to shrink herself to avoid conflict. That's when I knew. This wasn't just about a ski trip. This was about every time she'd been made to feel less than. Every time she'd been the afterthought while Lucas's twins were celebrated. I stood up. You're right, Lucas, I said. Avery's not going on the ski club trip. He looked relieved. I continued. Because we're going on our own trip. Same resort. Same week. Private instructors. VIP access. Just the two of us. The room froze. Lucas's mouth opened. What? I booked it this morning, I said. $14,500. Avery's worked hard. She deserves it. My mother gasped. Oliver, that's excessive. Is it? I asked. Or is it just fair? I turned to Avery. Go get your coat. We're leaving. She stood without a word. We walked to the door. Behind me, Lucas's voice cracked. You can't just... I stopped. Look back. I can't, I said. And I did. We left. The door closed behind us with a soft click. Avery didn't speak on the drive home. She stared out the window, watching streetlights blur past. I could feel the weight of her silence pressing against the car's interior like something physical. When we pulled into the apartment parking lot, she finally turned to me. You didn't have to do that. I turned off the engine. Yes, I did. It's just a ski trip. It's not, I said. And you know it's not. She looked down at her hands. They always do this. Grandma and Grandpa, Uncle Lucas. They always act like Sebastian and Aiden are perfect, and I'm just there. I wanted to argue. I wanted to tell her she was wrong. But she wasn't. We went inside. Avery went to her room. I heard the door close softly, not a slam, just a quiet statement of withdrawal. I sat on the couch in the dark living room. The only light came from the street lamp outside, filtering through the blinds in thin stripes across the floor. My phone buzzed. Multiple times. Messages flooding in. My mother. Oliver, what you said at dinner was hurtful. Lucas's children work very hard. You embarrassed them. Lucas, you're making a scene over nothing. The boys earned their spot. Stop being petty. Paisley, your behavior tonight was appalling. You owe my sons an apology. I read each message. Didn't reply to any. They wanted me to be quiet. To accept the narrative. To keep paying and keep silent and keep pretending that everything was fair. I thought about the $180 I'd been sending every month. 12 payments. 12 times I'd transferred money without hesitation because Lucas said he needed help. 12 times I'd enabled the illusion that his sons were self-sufficient while my daughter was overlooked. The twins hadn't mowed lawns. Or if they had, it was maybe twice, for neighbors who paid them out of pity. The tutoring was non-existent. I knew this because I knew Lucas. He was good at selling stories. Always had been. In high school, he told our parents he was studying at the library when he was actually at parties. In college, he claimed he was networking when he was skipping classes. As an adult, he framed his financial struggles as temporary setbacks while building a lifestyle funded by borrowed money and family guilt. And I had enabled it. For years. Because being the dependable brother meant absorbing the cost of Lucas's fiction without complaint. I opened my banking app, scrolled through my transaction history, found the recurring payment to Mountain Ridge Ski Club under Lucas's account. 12 months, 12 payments, all marked membership dues, K. Martin family. I took a screenshot, saved it to a folder labeled records. Then I went back and found every text message Lucas had sent me over the past year. February. Hey man, can you cover the ski club fees for a few months? I'll pay you back once this contract clears. March, nothing. April, nothing. May. Thanks for being a solid brother. June through February, nothing. Not a single mention of repayment. Not a single acknowledgement that the debt still existed. I saved those too. Avery's light was still on under her door. I could hear faint music playing. She was probably lying in bed, replaying the dinner in her mind, wondering what she'd done wrong. She hadn't done anything wrong. She never did. I put my phone down, leaned back into the couch, closed my eyes. Tomorrow, I would tell Avery about the trip. Tomorrow, I would start planning. Tomorrow, I would make sure she understood that she mattered. But tonight, I just sat in the dark, letting the silence settle around me like a cold blanket. I told Avery about the trip over breakfast. She was eating cereal, scrolling through her phone before her Saturday shift. We're going skiing, I said. Spring break. Summit Valley Resort. Private lessons, VIP lift access, the whole package. She looked up. Seriously? Seriously. Just us. Just us. Her face changed. Not quite a smile, but something lighter. Relief, maybe. Or hope. That's really expensive, Dad. You're worth it, I said. She set her spoon down. What about Uncle Lucas? And the ski club? What about them? Won't they be there? At the same resort? Yes. She processed this. Won't that be weird? Maybe, I said. But you deserve this trip. And I'm done letting other people decide what you're worth. She nodded slowly. Then she stood, walked around the table, and hugged me. Quick, tight, before pulling away and grabbing her work bag. Thank you, she said. After she left, I made a phone call. Mountain Ridge Ski Club was run by a woman named Alice Torres. She'd been coordinating youth ski programs for 15 years. Professional, organized, friendly in that detached way program directors are. I'd met her twice. Once during registration, once at a parent meeting I'd attended on Lucas's behalf because he'd been too busy. Her number was in my phone. I called. Alice Torres. Hi, Alice. This is Oliver Martin. I'm calling about the membership payments for Lucas Martin's family. A pause. Oh, yes. Oliver. How can I help you? I need to cancel the automatic payments effective immediately. Another pause, longer this time. I see. Can I ask why? Personal reasons, I said. The account is in my name. I'm the payer. I'd like to stop the recurring charge. Of course, she said. I'll process that today. Should I notify Lucas? That won't be necessary. Understood. I heard typing. Just to confirm, you've been covering the Martin family membership since February of last year, correct? Correct. And the total amount paid to date is $2,160. That's right. More typing. Okay. The recurring payment is canceled. The current month is already paid, so the membership will remain active through March 31st. After that, Lucas will need to handle payments directly if he wants to continue. Perfect, I said. Thank you. Is there anything else? I hesitated. Then I asked, will you be at Summit Valley for the spring break trip? Yes, I'll be there as the primary chaperone. Good, I said. I'll see you there. I hung up. The next call was to my bank. I requested copies of all transactions related to the ski club payments. They said they'd email them within 24 hours. Then I opened my email and drafted a message to Lucas. I didn't send it, just wrote it and saved it in drafts. Subject, membership payments Lucas, I've canceled the automatic payments to Mountain Ridge Ski Club. The membership will expire on March 31st. If you'd like to continue, you'll need to set up your own payment method. For your records, I've attached a summary of all payments made over the past 12 months, totaling $2,160. Best, Oliver. I attached the bank statements. Then I saved the draft and closed my laptop. I didn't need to send it yet. I just needed to know it was ready. Avery came home from her shift at 3 p.m., smelling like floor cleaner and tired in the way only retail work makes you. She dropped her bag by the door and collapsed on the couch. How was work? I asked. Fine. Restocked the cereal aisle. Helped an old lady find cat food. Broke down boxes for an hour. Sounds thrilling. She laughed. It's honest work, right? Isn't that what Uncle Lucas said? Kids who work hard. I looked at her. You work harder than anyone I know. She smiled. Small but real. We leave in 2 weeks, I said. Start thinking about what you want to pack. Okay, she said. Then she paused. Dad, yeah. Thank you for standing up for me. I nodded. Always. She went to her room. I stayed on the couch, staring at my laptop, thinking about the message waiting in my drafts. Not yet, but soon. Lucas called me 4 days before the trip. I was at a coffee shop near the pharmacy, reviewing inventory reports. Oliver, we need to talk. I took a sip of coffee. Go ahead. Alice from the ski club called me. She said you canceled the membership payments. That's correct. A long silence. I could hear him breathing. Why would you do that? Because I'm done paying for things you claim your kids earned themselves. That's not fair, he said. I told you I'd pay you back. When? I asked. You said it would be temporary. That was a year ago. You never mentioned it again. I've been meaning to. You've been lying, I said. To me. To Mom and Dad. To your own kids. You told everyone Sebastian and Aiden worked for their gear. That they earned their memberships. But I paid for it. Every month. $180. For 12 months. I didn't lie. They did work. How much did they make? I asked. Give me a number. He didn't answer. That's what I thought, I said. You built a story. And I funded it. But I'm done. This is about Avery, isn't it? His tone shifted, defensive. You're mad because she didn't get invited. So you're punishing my kids. No, I said. I'm stopping the punishment of my kid. There's a difference. You're being petty. I laughed. Actually laughed. Petty would be telling Mom and Dad the truth. Petty would be showing them the bank statements. Petty would be explaining to Sebastian and Aiden that their memberships exist because Uncle Oliver paid for them while you told everyone they were self-sufficient. Don't you dare. I already canceled the payments, Lucas. What else do you think I'd dare to do? He was quiet. Then, what do you want? I don't want anything from you, I said. I want you to stop acting like Avery is less than your kids. I want you to stop lying. And I want you to pay for your own damn ski trips. You're making a huge mistake, he said. The mistake was enabling you for this long. He hung up. I set my phone down. My hand was shaking, but not from fear. From something else. Relief, maybe. Or power. That evening, my mother called. Oliver, Lucas is very upset. I know. He said you're refusing to help with the ski club anymore. That's right. Why would you do that? Those boys depend on that program. Then Lucas can pay for it, I said. He's their father. He's going through a rough time financially. He's been going through a rough time for 12 months, Mom. At some point, it stops being temporary and starts being a pattern. You're being selfish. I closed my eyes. Took a breath. I've paid $2,160 for Lucas's kids over the past year. I did it quietly, without complaint. I didn't ask for recognition. I didn't ask for thanks. But when Avery wanted to go on the same trip, she was excluded because she didn't work hard enough. Meanwhile, Sebastian and Aiden's memberships only exist because I've been funding them. Silence. Did you know that? I asked. Did Lucas tell you I was paying? Mentioned you were helping. Helping, I repeated. That's a nice way to phrase it. Oliver, family helps each other. You're right, I said. And I'm helping Avery now. We leave in 4 days. Same resort. Same dates. Private instructors. VIP access. She's worked for this. She deserves it. This is excessive. No, I said. This is fair. I hung up. My phone buzzed again. Paisley this time. I didn't answer. Then another text from Lucas. You're going to regret this. I stared at the message. Typed one line back. No, I really won't. I hit send. Then I blocked his number. Avery walked into the room. Everything okay? I smiled. Everything's perfect. Ready to pack. She grinned. Let's do it. The morning we left for Summit Valley, I printed every bank statement related to the ski club payments. 12 pages. Each one showing a $180 charge to Mountain Ridge Ski Club under Lucas Martin family membership. I put them in a red folder. Slid the folder into my suitcase. Avery was in her room, packing clothes and excitement in equal measure. She'd bought a new winter jacket with her last paycheck. Navy blue with silver zippers. She tried it on 3 times the night before, checking the fit in the mirror. Dad, how cold is it going to be? She called. Cold, I said. But you'll be fine. The lodge has heated lounges between runs. Heated lounges, she repeated, like the words were foreign. This is so fancy. You'll get used to it. We loaded the car. 2 suitcases, ski gear rentals arranged through the resort, and a small cooler with snacks for the drive. Summit Valley was 4 hours north, tucked into the mountains like a secret. The drive was quiet but comfortable. Avery dozed off somewhere past the second hour, her head resting against the window. I drove in silence, thinking about what was coming. Lucas and the ski club group were staying in the standard lodge. Shared rooms, buffet meals, group lessons on the beginner slopes. Functional but unremarkable. Avery and I had a private slopeside cabin. 2 bedrooms, a fireplace, a balcony overlooking the mountain. Our package included reserved seating at the Summit restaurant, private lessons with an Olympic-trained instructor named Hudson, and VIP lift access that let us skip every line. When we arrived at Summit Valley, the difference was immediate. The valet took our car. A concierge in a dark green uniform greeted us by name. Mr. Martin, welcome to Summit Valley. We have your cabin ready. Hudson will meet you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for your first session. Avery's eyes were wide. This is insane. The concierge smiled. We aim to provide an exceptional experience. If you need anything during your stay, just call the front desk. Our cabin was at the far end of the resort, accessible by a private path that wound through snow-covered pine trees. Inside, the fireplace was already lit. A basket of fruit and chocolate sat on the kitchen counter. The balcony doors opened to a view of the main slope, where skiers carved lines through fresh powder. Avery stood at the balcony, staring. Dad, this is worth it, I finished. She turned to me. Thank you. You earned this, I said. Don't forget that. That evening, we ate dinner at the Summit restaurant. Floor-to-ceiling windows, candlelit tables, a menu that made Avery whisper, "Is this place real?" Halfway through the meal, I saw them. Lucas, Paisley, the twins, and about 15 other kids from the ski club. They were in the main dining hall, visible through the open archway that connected the 2 sections. Buffet trays, paper napkins, plastic cups. Lucas saw me. His fork stopped midair. I raised my wine glass slightly. A small, silent acknowledgement. He looked away. Avery followed my gaze. Is that them? Yeah. Should we say hi? No. She nodded. Went back to her salmon. The next morning, Hudson met us at 8 a.m. sharp. Tall, tanned, with the kind of easy confidence that comes from decades on the mountain. Oliver, Avery, good morning. Ready to ski? Avery nodded eagerly. We spent 3 hours on private runs. Hudson taught Avery techniques, corrected her posture, made her laugh when she fell. By noon, she was skiing intermediate slopes with confidence. At the lift, we skipped the line. VIP access meant a separate entrance, no waiting. The lift operator waved us through. Behind us, I heard voices. The ski club group, waiting in the regular line. It stretched 40 people deep. Sebastian's voice. Why do they get to skip? Aiden, that's not fair. Lucas said nothing. We rode the lift up. Avery was glowing. This is the best trip ever, she said. It's only day 1, I said. At the top, we skied down a pristine run, untouched powder spraying up around us. When we reached the bottom, Alice Torres was standing near the lodge entrance. She saw me, walked over. Oliver, I thought that was you. Enjoying the resort. Very much. She glanced at Avery. And this must be your daughter. This is Avery. Alice smiled. It's wonderful that you 2 are here. I have to say, Oliver, it was very generous of you to fund the Martin family membership for so long. Lucas mentioned you were helping, but I didn't realize the extent until I reviewed the account. Avery's head turned. What? Alice didn't notice the shift in tone. A full year of payments. That's real commitment. Lucas is lucky to have family like you. I said nothing. Avery stared at me, then at Alice. Wait. Avery said slowly. My dad paid for Sebastian and Aiden's ski club? Alice blinked. Oh, I thought. Yes, Oliver covered the membership dues for the past 12 months. Avery's face changed. Understanding clicked into place like a lock turning. Alice excused herself, sensing the tension. Avery turned to me. You paid for them? For a whole year? Yes. And Uncle Lucas said they worked for it. Yes. Her jaw tightened. They lied. Yes. She looked toward the lodge, where the ski club group was gathering. They called me lazy. They said I didn't work hard enough. But they didn't work at all. You paid for everything. I nodded. She took a breath. Can I tell people? I met her eyes. That's up to you. She smiled. Not sweet. Sharp. Good. Avery didn't waste time. That afternoon, on the lift back up the mountain, she sat next to a girl from the ski club named Kennedy. I heard them talking. So you're skiing with a private instructor? Kennedy asked. Yeah, Avery said. My dad booked a VIP package. It's really cool. That's awesome. I wish we had private lessons. We're stuck in group sessions with like 20 kids. Avery nodded. Then, casually, yeah, my dad wanted to make sure I had a good experience. Especially since he's been paying for my cousin's ski club memberships all year. Kennedy's head turned. Wait, what? Sebastian and Aiden. My dad's been covering their dues. $180 a month for 12 months. Are you serious? Yeah, but they told everyone they worked for it themselves. That they mowed lawns and tutored kids. Kennedy's eyes went wide. That's so messed up. By the time we reached the top, Kennedy was texting. Within an hour, the story had spread through the entire ski club group. I didn't intervene. I just watched. At dinner, the whispers were louder. Kids staring at Sebastian and Aiden. Quiet conversations that stopped when Lucas walked past. Avery sat with a group of girls from the club. They'd invited her over, curious about the private cabin, the VIP access, the truth behind the Martin family narrative. Lucas tried to approach me at the buffet line. I saw him coming. Kept my focus on the salad bar. Oliver. I added tomatoes to my plate. We need to talk. No, we don't. You're turning my kids into a joke. I looked at him. I'm not doing anything. Avery told the truth. That's all. She's spreading lies. Show me one lie, I said. One thing she said that isn't true. He opened his mouth. Closed it. That's what I thought, I said. I walked away. The next day, Alice pulled me aside after our morning lesson. Oliver, I need to address something. There's been some confusion among the group about the Martin family membership. What kind of confusion? Several kids are saying you funded Sebastian and Aiden's participation. That Lucas misrepresented their financial situation. That's not confusion, I said. That's accurate. Alice sighed. Lucas is saying it's a misunderstanding. It's not. She looked uncomfortable. Do you have documentation? I pulled out my phone, opened my email, showed her the forwarded bank statements. 12 months, 12 payments, all clearly labeled. Alice's expression shifted. I see. Lucas told everyone his sons worked for their memberships, I said. He told his own kids they'd earned it. But I paid. Every month. Without recognition. Without thanks. And when my daughter wanted to join the trip, she was told she wasn't good enough because she hadn't worked hard enough. Alice nodded slowly. I understand. Do you? I asked. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like Lucas built his son's reputation on my wallet, then used that false reputation to exclude my daughter. I'm not excusing his behavior, Alice said carefully. But this is creating a difficult environment for the group. Then maybe Lucas should have been honest from the beginning. She didn't argue. That evening, at the Summit restaurant, the tension broke. Lucas confronted me in front of everyone. The ski club group was gathered at their tables, close enough to hear. You're humiliating my family, he said, voice raised. I set my fork down. I'm correcting the record. You're making my kids look bad. Your kids look bad because you lied on their behalf. That's not my fault. Paisley stood. You had no right to tell Avery about the payments. I had every right, I said. I made the payments. I can talk about them. Lucas's face was red. You're doing this because you're jealous. Because your daughter didn't get invited. Avery, sitting 2 tables over with her new friends, stood up. No, she said, voice clear. He's doing this because you lied. You said Sebastian and Aiden worked. They didn't. My dad paid. And then you told me I wasn't good enough to come on this trip because I didn't work hard enough. But I work 15 hours a week. I stock shelves. I earn my own money. What do Sebastian and Aiden do? Silence. Sebastian stared at his plate. Aiden's face was pale. Lucas pointed at Avery. You don't know what you're talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about, Avery said. Alice told us. My dad paid $2,160 over the past year. For your kids. And you never said thank you. You just acted like they earned it. The room was silent. Every eye was on Lucas. He looked around. At the kids. At the parents. At Paisley. Then he turned and walked out. Paisley followed. Sebastian and Aiden sat frozen, humiliation painted across their faces. Avery sat back down. Her friends whispered congratulations. I picked up my fork. Took a bite of steak. Alice caught my eye from across the room. She gave a small nod. I nodded back. The rest of the meal was quiet. But the truth was out. And it wasn't going back in. The rest of the trip was quieter. Lucas and his family kept their distance. The twins stopped talking to the other kids. Paisley stayed in their room most of the time. The ski club continued their activities, but the energy had shifted. Whispers followed the Martin family everywhere. Avery, on the other hand, thrived. She made friends with Kennedy and 3 other girls from the group. They invited her to ski with them on the public slopes. She said yes, not because she needed to prove anything, but because she wanted to. Hudson told her she was a natural, that with more practice, she could handle Black Diamond runs by next season. She glowed. On our last morning, we sat on the balcony with hot chocolate, watching the sun rise over the mountain. The snow reflected pink and gold. The air was cold and clean. Dad, yeah. Thank you for bringing me here. And for telling the truth. I looked at her. You deserved both. I know Uncle Lucas is mad. Grandma too, probably. Probably, I agreed. Does that bother you? I thought about it. Really thought. No, I said. It doesn't. She smiled. Good. We finished our drinks in silence. When we checked out, the concierge handed me a handwritten note from the resort manager. Mr. Martin, thank you for choosing Summit Valley. We hope to see you and your daughter again soon. Avery read it over my shoulder. Can we come back next year? Absolutely. The drive home was lighter than the drive up. Avery talked about the slopes, the friends she'd made, the things Hudson taught her. She was animated, alive in a way I hadn't seen in months. Halfway home, my phone buzzed. A voicemail from my mother. I didn't listen to it. Avery noticed. Grandma. Probably. Are you going to call her back? Not today. She nodded. Didn't push. When we got home, Avery went to her room to unpack. I sat on the couch, opened my laptop, and checked my email. 3 messages from Lucas. I deleted them without reading. One from Alice. Subject. Thank you, Oliver. I wanted to reach out personally to thank you for your patience during the trip. I also want to apologize. I should have verified Lucas's claims about his son's participation before allowing the situation to escalate. For what it's worth, Avery is a wonderful young woman. You've raised her well. If you're interested, I'd like to offer her a complimentary membership to next season's ski club. No strings. She's earned it. Best, Alice. I read it twice. Then I forwarded it to Avery. 2 minutes later, she came out of her room, phone in hand. Did you see this? Yeah. Can I join? If you want to. She grinned. I want to. That evening, Avery went to work her shift at Martin's Market. When she came home, she was tired but still smiling. Good day? I asked. Yeah. Restocked the cereal aisle. Broke down boxes. Same as always. Still honest work, I said. The best kind, she agreed. 2 weeks later, I got a text from Lucas. We need to talk about the money you're owed. I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed, keep it. Use it to pay for next year's memberships. And maybe teach your kids what real work looks like. I hit send. Blocked his number again. Avery saw me from the kitchen. Everything okay? I smiled. Everything's perfect. She went back to her homework. I sat on the couch, staring at the ceiling. For the first time in years, I felt light. Not because I'd won, but because I'd finally stopped losing. Avery was happy, confident, respected, and I was done being the invisible provider. I was just Oliver, a father who stood up for his daughter. And that was enough.